Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back to our regular schedule, and I hope you're all prepared because I got nothing. Really, I've been so busy the past couple of months that I've forgotten to stockpile up my trash. I guess we could just sit here, alone, together. We could talk about our feelings, read some poetry. We could watch Daria. Convenient how the box is already opened. Last time I saw a tape get delivered to somebody's house, Bill Pullman killed Patricia Arquette. This could be quite a gamble, but it could also be a lost Cecil B. DeMille classic on the Children's Crusades, maybe. Shh. This is not a Cecil B. DeMille film. Jesus! Ouch! Oh my God! There's no way this is happening. I gotta do something about this. Hello, police? Yeah, could you send someone over right away?
Hello, Mr. Snob. I'm Detective Strebeck. You called?
Travis?
No, not Travis. Detective Strebeck.
Whatever, come on in.
Alright, so, tell me everything.
Alright, I don't know how to put this. I don't think this kind of report has ever been filed. In fact, I think things like this are usually considered to be a myth.
Things like what?
Look, I'm what you call a film buff.
Sure.
And I watch bad movies for a living.
Why?
What?
Why do you watch bad movies for a living if you're such a film buff?
Anyway, I was sitting in my comfy chair when all of a sudden I get this tape at the door.
Did, Robert Blake send it to you?
I already made that reference.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, I put the tape in, and...
Just tell me, Mr. Snob.
Okay, you'll just have to watch.
Oh my God!
I know, right?
This is huge.
You're telling me. I've never come across something like this before.
I must say, Mr. Snob, if this turns out to be authentic, you'll be the first person ever to report in a legitimate snuff film.
A legitimate snuff film? What?
That's what it is, right?
It's a movie about a woman getting tortured for 40 minutes.
Yes, a snuff film.
No, it's not a real snuff film. It's fake.
I don't understand then. Why are you reporting this in?
Because this is the laziest, shoddiest, poorest excuse for storytelling that I have ever come across on this show.
You've got to be kidding me.
You know how we movie snobs like to dismiss movies like Saw or Hostel for being torture porn?
I don't know about that. I watch Patrick Dempsey movies.
Okay, well the truth is, we like to label certain horror films as torture porn because it makes us feel better about ourselves. Even though the movies have stories and violence of that caliber has existed in film since the 1960s, we just like to come up with newer ways to dismiss horror films when we get bored.
But Hostel really did suck.
I never actually saw it. None of us did. But this thing, Guinea Pig, this is what we critics picture in our heads when we think of something like Saw. None of us thought that something like this really existed, but it does.
Okay, but what's so bad about this?
Oh, please. First off, who is this girl? We know nothing about her except that she's obviously being punished for wearing white shoes after Labor Day. The movie's idea of character development is slapping her around for the first 10 minutes. Maybe they're punishing her for her performance in The Big Hit.
What, The Big Hit?
It was a joke. Joking is how guys like Roger Ebert and I get by. Why else do you think he's written 2 books about movies he hates? When she gets kicked around later, she's barely even reacting. On the one hand, it's nice to see what the audition process for Machine Girl was like, but I'm not sure if the DVD needed this extra.
So it's a violent foreign film. Aren't there a lot of those? It's not like it's going to get remade here in the States.
Don't be so sure. I'm already hearing news about an American remake starring Rooney Mara. Look at this. Pulling on someone's knuckle would hurt a lot more than she's letting on. She isn't reacting like she's getting hurt. She's reacting like she's watching a show where Steve-O is getting hurt.
I'm starting to get the point that this isn't a real snuff film. You're sort of right. It does look like what Mistress Dominatrix gives me when I go boom boom on the carpet.
You shit on your mistress's carpet?
You don't shit on your mistress's carpet?
Fuck no! I pee on it. Then the movie just starts getting silly. When I was a kid, I never really thought that playing in an empty barber's chair was the equivalent of torture. The biggest reaction that she has in the movie is when someone else's guts are spilled on her. Using electroshock therapy on my ears is one thing, but pig guts? I'm sorry, that's really, really stinky.
Well, how about these kidnappers? Can you describe them?
Oh, yeah. Make sure you get some good notes on this one, officer, because I don't know a goddamn thing about them. Why did they kidnap this girl? What lesson are they trying to teach? Why do they appear to be germophobic?
Why would you need to ask these questions about this movie?
Because that's what I do, Officer Strebeck. There's only one scene in the movie where they ever say anything to one another.
What? That can't be what they said.
It isn't. There's no subtitles of the movie, so I just added my own.
Why would you do that? You don't even like this movie.
To get a response out of you, like with this scene. Eh?
It was okay, I guess.
Well, it's more character development than you're ever gonna get in this film, so you can thank me later.
This movie must obviously be known for its violence, so what about this is so bad? Get into the technical details about it.
Don't make me laugh, Detective. Seriously, you're embarrassing yourself. First of all, why is it called Guinea Pig? I've yet to see a hamster in this movie, let alone a guinea pig. There are so few guinea pigs in this movie that Bruno Mattei couldn't even shoot a sequel to Rats.
I get it.
And it takes place in the year 1908X. I remember that year. It was a year and a civil rights activist. This movie looks like if the Helter Skelter murders was shot by Andreas Schnass. And what is with these numbers that frequently pop up? 100? Is that how many times she's been hit? I guess the movie gives the slapping a 10. I'll have to take their word for it because I'm already bored. The worst part is all of this spinning. It's the only part of the movie that's actually making me sick. See what I mean? Looks like they made it to 100 spins. That's nice.
Even nicer is that they broke their record and made it to 200.
It's great when you get your snuff films confused with Office Olympics. That is, until they make her listen to the inner workings of an Atari 5200.
Is she about to fall asleep?
Who could blame her? I'll tell her how the movie ends when she wakes up.
What is this machine anyway?
I know exactly what it is.
Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah. Wiggle, 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 yeah, yeah. Do the wiggle, man.
Not a fan of that song?
Not really, no. Just because this is a snuff film doesn't mean you have to be unattractive. Hey, officer, out of curiosity, what do you think about fingernails?
Oh, well, I take pretty good care of mine and... Ah! Really, Snob?
You think you had a bad reaction? The trees are going nuts from watching that scene. It does serve as a cautionary tale, however. If you leave McRib sauce on someone's skin, it's bound to cause a serious infection after a while.
Do you mind, Snob? The movie's getting really tasteless.
No, it's okay, officer. They put maggots on her wound, obviously to heal it. Just because they're torturers doesn't mean they can't have heart.
This movie's so stale it's starting to get maggots.
I was gonna fucking say that!
I feel bad for asking this, but how does it end?
They pluck her eyeball out of her.
That's it?
Not quite. Throughout this whole thing, we keep seeing images of her hanging around in a net, as if the rest of the movie is supposed to be a flashback. But since we already know that she survives, it makes the rest of the movie hardly suspenseful. And it goes against their whole faux snuff movie gimmick, since the character really doesn't die in it. She's just waiting for R2-D2 to cut her out of a net. Even at 40 minutes, this thing feels long. Geez, children, if it takes this long for you to kill one person, it's really gonna drag out the battle royale. The dumbest thing that Charlie Sheen did while high was report this as an actual snuff film.
How is that any dumber than you reporting this for being a bad movie?
Because an ending to a movie should be Rick Blaine saying goodbye to Ilsa on the runway, not plucking someone's eyeball out of their head. That's not a climax. That's a filmmaker critiquing their own movie.
Well, how would you have made it better?
Obviously, I would have added bumbling cops, because the light-hearted comedy would have made the violence feel all the more darker.
Really?
No, that'd just be fucking stupid.
Well, we got all I need right here, Mr. Snob.
Well, what are you gonna do about it, Detective Strebeck? You gonna arrest the filmmakers? Make sure that they're put on a sex offenders list?
I'm gonna do something more than that. I'm gonna write about it on my blog.
What?
You're right. This movie was pretty bad, and I have a duty to tell my readers all about it.
Then you're gonna make an arrest, right? I mean, what if they make a sequel?
Too late for that. There's like 6 of these movies.
6? How do you know that?
Oh, I zoned out while you were complaining about the movie, so I was surfing around on my phone. I've got 6 movies to review. Catch you later.
But I want to talk about them first. Oh, fuck it. I know exactly what to do with this.
Well, whoever made the film was adept at authenticity.